Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. So, we're diving into something today that honestly feels super relevant if you've been feeling, well, like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders lately. We're breaking down a 60-second short film script called The Echoes of Tomorrow. But we aren't just looking at this as a standard piece of cinema. We're actually exploring it as a modern fable. It's this incredibly grounding narrative designed for those exact moments when we feel completely and utterly overwhelmed. We're going to go through this tiny masterpiece scene by scene and figure out how it tackles hope, resilience, and just the sheer exhaustion of everyday life.
So the story kicks off in this glowing, kind of ethereal park at dusk. There's a character, Sipo, sitting all by himself on a bench. He's staring down at this tiny, flickering light resting right in the palm of his hand, and he whispers, "They say the light never stays. It just moves on." I really want us to just sit with that opening line for a second. Sipo is literally giving a voice to this universal, super heavy feeling that I'm sure we all get when we're totally burned out. You know, that cynical, exhausting belief that hope or joy or even just motivation is always fleeting, like it's just slipping right through our fingers and moving on without us?
Before we dive any deeper into Sipo's story, I want to throw a question right back at you, because it's essentially what the script is asking its own characters. Are you trying to carry the whole world? When you hear Sipo talk about that light moving on, does it hit home? Does it resonate with your own sense of burnout? You know, when we're exhausted, literally everything feels like a loss. We feel like we're constantly trying to hold on to our energy, our time, our peace of mind, and we're just failing at it. But the way these characters handle this exact feeling, it actually gives us a roadmap right out of that exhaustion.
Section 4. The shape of our light. Right at that moment, another character, Monica, walks up. She casts this soft shadow and offers a really gentle but profound correction to Sipo's whole worldview.
Notice the stark contrast here in how Sipo and Monica look at the exact same flickering light. Sipo thinks it's abandoning them, right? But Monica says, maybe it doesn't move on, Sipo. Maybe it just changes shape. And when Sipo asks, like us? She replies, exactly like us. Monica completely flips the script here. She takes this feeling of lost energy and reframes it as a natural transformation. Think about it. When you're feeling overwhelmed, you aren't necessarily losing your spark. The shape of your energy is just changing, adapting, evolving. Exactly like you are. It's such a beautiful way to look at burnout, not as a personal failure, but just as a phase of transition.
Section 6. The deafening roar of silence. As Sipo is soaking all this in, a third character shows up. This is Beauty. She's clutching a sketchbook, and she brings in a totally different kind of overwhelm, the burden of unseen pressures. Beauty lets out a sigh and says, "I spent all day trying to draw the silence, but it's too loud today." Sipo asks if it's the semester, and she just nods and says, "The weight of it." We really need to treat this dialogue almost like poetry. I mean, have you ever been so overwhelmed by deadlines or expectations or just the sheer weight of everything you have to do that you can't even enjoy a single moment of rest? It's like your brain is buzzing so loudly with anxiety that the silence itself actually feels crushing. Beauty absolutely nails the modern condition here. It's the total exhaustion of carrying expectations, where your internal noise just completely drowns out any external peace.
Section 8. Dropping the spinning world. Enter Daniel, our fourth character. He walks up, puts a comforting hand on Sipo's shoulder, and brings this grounded energy that directly challenges the huge, self-imposed burdens we're all walking around with.
Daniel looks at everyone and says, "You guys are still trying to carry the whole world. Haven't you noticed? The world is already spinning without your help." This is Daniel's ultimate grounding advice. He's basically saying, stop trying to control everything. Stop thinking that if you drop the ball, the entire universe is going to collapse. It's this call to just let go of the ego of our own anxiety. But the script does something incredibly smart right here. It validates just how hard that actually is. Because Monica replies, "That's the scary part, Daniel." And she is so right. Letting go of control, even when that control is completely exhausting us, is terrifying. We hold on to our stress because, weirdly, it feels safe. But Daniel is asking us to take a leap and trust the spin of the world. Section 10. Reflections, not broken fragments. So, following Daniel's advice to let go, that little flickering light in Sipo's hand actually starts to change. Because they stop forcing it. Because they stopped trying to carry the weight of the world, something magical happens. The light starts growing brighter. It literally spreads from Sipo to Monica, then to Beauty, and to Daniel. Their individual isolation breaks down, and this collective shared experience starts to illuminate everything.
As this light is spreading, we hear a voiceover from a character credited as the Last Queen. She says, "We aren't fragments of a broken mirror.
We are the reflection of a light that hasn't found its home yet. You know, when we're deeply burned out, we often feel completely shattered, like a literal fragment of a broken mirror. We feel useless, sharp, disconnected. But the Last Queen completely redefines that exhaustion. We aren't broken pieces at all. We are reflections. We're carrying a light, a potential, a hope that is simply in transit, just looking for its home. It totally strips away the guilt of feeling overwhelmed and replaces it with the sense of wandering purpose.
Sipo looks up as the glow is spreading and asks, "Do you hear that?" And Beauty replies, "It's not a sound, it's an echo." So what exactly is this echo? Well, it's not a physical sound. It's a shared, reverberating resonance of hope and connection. When you drop the weight of the world and actually connect with other people who are also just surviving the heavy days, your individual flickering hope bounces off of them. It amplifies. Resilience isn't this thing you have to miraculously generate all by yourself in a dark room. Not at all. It is an echo, and it's found in the shared experience of community.
If we break this down, each character is essentially a powerful archetype for how we cope. Sipo turns his burden of a fleeting light into a spreading glow. Beauty transforms the loud silence of her expectations into a shared echo. Daniel shifts the massive weight of carrying the spinning world into recognizing our power to make the light stay. And Monica moves from the absolute fear of letting go to embracing how we naturally change shape. It makes you wonder, which burden are you carrying today? And maybe more importantly, which resolution do you need to borrow?
Section 14, The Tomorrow We Fear. Standing there together, all that individual anxiety just dissipates. They look out at this shimmering, magical horizon. They aren't dreading the future anymore. They're actively illuminating it. They are facing the very tomorrow they were once so deeply afraid of.
Looking out at that shimmering horizon, Monica says, "Maybe we're not just human." And then Daniel follows it up with this absolutely incredible thought. Maybe we're the reason the light stays. Now remember earlier, Sipo was so sad that the light always moves on. But Daniel's realization completely flips the script. We don't have to be passive victims, always chasing after hope and begging it not to leave us. Through our own resilience, our ability to change shape, and our connection with each other, we actually anchor the light in place. We generate the warmth that makes the light want to stay.
The journey these four characters go on actually gives us a really simple path out of intense overwhelm. Step 1, acknowledge the fleeting light. Don't hide from the burnout. Name it, just like Sipo did. Step 2, recognize the heavy weight. Admit that the silence is too loud and the expectations are just crushing you. Step 3, let the world spin without you. Embrace Daniel's advice. Drop that illusion of control and just let things be. And finally, step 4, become the reason the light stays. Connect with people around you and let your shared resilience create an echo.
Thinking about the script's core point, that the message is entirely within you, let's remember our main takeaways. First, the world really does spin without our help. You are allowed to put the burden down. Second, we are reflections, not broken pieces. You aren't shattered. You are just looking for your proper alignment. And third, the message, the hope, the resilience, it all generates from the inside out. It is entirely within you.
At the very end of the script, we hear Beauty's final, haunting whisper. We are the tomorrow we're afraid of. This is such a beautiful reframing of our anxiety about the future. A lot of times when we're overwhelmed, we dread tomorrow because of what it might do to us, right? But Beauty realizes that we literally are tomorrow. The future isn't some terrifying external force coming to get us. It's simply the manifestation of our own immense potential. We hold the power to dictate what tomorrow looks like, all based on how we carry our light today.
So I want to leave you with this thought. If you truly are the tomorrow you've been fearing, how brightly will you let your light shape the days to come? You really don't have to carry the whole world. You just have to let your light change shape, bounce off the people around you, and create an echo. I really hope this fable leaves you feeling grounded, eager to release some of those burdens, and confident that you are, in fact, the reason the light stays. Thanks so much for hanging out.